So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So when we talk about enterprise can be any organization. It can be any organization. When we say about any organization, it can be a small organization. It can be a medium level organization. It can be a high level organization. So our understanding about the organization is it can be small, medium, or a high level organization. So when we talk about resource, when we talk about resource, it can be like money, men, machinery. So likewise, marketing. Okay, so when we talk about resource, it can be like money. Resource can be in terms of money. Resources can be in terms of men. Resources can be in terms of machinery. Resources can be in terms of marketing. And the next, planning. When we talk about planning, it can be like short-term plans. There can be short-term plans like long-term plans. Short-term, or we can call it as short-term plans or long-term plans. Or even sometimes there are some people who can say like medium level or medium-term plans also. It can be medium-term plans also. So altogether, when we combine the definition of an ERP, we can say that any organization which effectively utilizes its resources for accomplishing its planning or accomplishment of its plan, that is called as an ERP. Any organization, you can say it as any organization which effectively utilizes its resources to achieve the planning or plans. We call it as an ERP. So likewise, SAP is called as an ERP. Likewise, SAP is also categorized as an ERP. So when we talk about in detail about what is this ERP, so I'll tell you an example. I'll tell you a real-time example that happens in our day-to-day life. Okay, so let's imagine on weekends we would like to purchase some items. We would like to purchase some groceries or some items or some homely needs. We need to purchase some homely needs. Let us suppose, take an example of this. So basically what happens, if you want to purchase some vegetables, you have to go for a vegetable shop. If you have to purchase some non-veg items, you have to go for a non-veg shop. If you have to purchase some utensils, for kitchen utensils or kitchen items, you have to go for some utensils shop. So likewise, for each and every category of the items, you will have to reach different shops. Let us suppose they are spread in different location. They are spread across different location. One is at location A, one is at location B, one is at location C. So just imagine yourself how it is like when all these items or all these shops are available under a single roof. Just imagine how if these shops are available under a single roof. Single roof means at one place. Let us suppose we have some different shopping malls. If you go to a shopping mall, you'll find all these shops as like shop number 1, shop number 2, shop number 3 likewise. But shopping mall is always one. So within that shopping mall, you'll find all these shops. Similarly, the same example when you map, to SAP, the same example when you map to SAP, SAP also has different modules. SAP has different modules. So when we talk about modules, those are called as function modules. It means function module means like we have some kind of sales, we have some kind of HR recruitment, we have some kind of material management. Likewise, so there are different categories of modules available like SD, FICO, HR, CRM, SRM. Yes, let's take an example of these things. So these are the different function modules which are available, and this will be basically useful for running the business for SAP. So when we talk about this is like a material management. This is like material management. When you talk about material management, this is like checking the, this is like checking the stock of the materials at different plants. And when we talk about sales, the SD, this is like sales and distribution. This is for sales and distribution. This module will tell you about the sales of that respective materials which are available at some plants. Similarly, when we talk about FICO, this is called as finance and controlling. This is finance and controlling. This will tell you about the budget, like how much you are spending, how much is the outgoing, and how much is the incoming, and how much is the money spent. All these details will be handled by this module. And HR is for human resources, like in that respective organization, how many people are working, and what are the levels of their positions, they're junior or senior or middle level, or what is their role, they're programmer or a labor or daily labor. Likewise, all those details will be handled by the human resource module. And when we talk about customer, CRM is like customer relationship management. Customer relationship management. In this module, in the customer relationship management, this is like providing the services to the customers. For example, you have purchased a car, you have to provide, you have to give your car for a service, a monthly service. So it means you are a customer to, for example, take an example of Hyundai. You're a customer to Hyundai and your car has to be given for service at a service station. So such kind of service request and corresponding to your car, it might be only a washing or it can be some kind of repairs, etc. Things will be handled by the CRM module. And SRM, it is like a supplier relationship module. Supplier relationship management. It means this in SRM, when we talk about SRM, this is specially required. This is specially needed for supplying the required materials to the respective customers. It means you have some product with you and you want some additional products. So who will be which module will be dealing with that that kind of requirement? It is like the SRM will be dealing with such kind of the requirement, supplier relationship management. So these are the simple examples. Okay, so these are just only the examples of some modules available. So overall, those are only the simple examples, but still there are many modules available. But we are not going in detail into that. We are just trying to understand what are the different parts of function modules available and how they are associated with the SAP ERP environment. Just because we are into ABAP, we will be working with all these kinds of people. We'll try to work or we'll try to already interact with these kind of people for their requirements. So if you see the present slide, so you can see different modules. The way I explained to you is also organized over here, like accounting and financing, warehouse distribution, production MRP, like projects and resource management, sales and services, purchase and operations, management and administrations. So altogether, like there will be some kind of interlink between each and every module. So all of them will be coming with some kind of associations. Associations are nothing but some kind of interlink between each and every modules. Okay, so this is the overall idea or the overall view of how SAP looks like and what are the different kinds of examples of the modules available in SAP. And in fact, I explained you already the definition of the ERP. And yeah, overall, this tells you about the overall picture of what SAP is and how it will be useful in different kinds of business scenarios. So I think we are clear up to now. Any questions to anyone? Are we still connected?
Yes, no questions.
Okay, that's fine. So let's proceed further. So now, okay. Now coming to SAP ABAP. So coming to SAP ABAP. So give me a moment. Right. So now our main idea is to learn SAP ABAP. So SAP ABAP is a 4th generation language. So just go through the history of the languages. Okay. So it's ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming, and ABAP is only useful for SAP. So it means any module which is in SAP like MM module or SD or FICO or etc., whatever the module it is, ABAP will be interacting with any of these modules which are available in SAP. So what kind of actions we do in ABAP, or what kind of the activities we do in ABAP? We do most of the times customizations. So what do you mean by customizations? It means we learn something called as RICEFW. We learn something called as RICEFW. RICEFW means this is reports, interfaces, and conversions. Okay, so let me take notepad. So let me put over here RICEFW. So let me increase the font of this. So R stands for reports, I stands for interfaces, C stands for conversions, and E stands for enhancements, and F stands for forms, and W stands for workflow or WebDan Pro. WebDan Pro is outdated now. So in place of that, we have something called Fiori. Okay, so these are the topics as a part of the ABAP curriculum you will be going to learn. So most of the times, these are the core topics that you'll be learning in the ABAP. So we'll go in detail when time comes about each and every topic. But I will tell you in simple, like reports. When you talk about reports, like it can be like a sales order data or purchase order data, or you can talk about the historical data, simply historical data. If your client wants to see some historical data from some so and so date to so and so date, then you'll be able to do this activity with respect to the historical data. When we talk about the interfaces, this can be like connection between the SAP to non-SAP, or within SAP to SAP only. So it means you will have some kind of data moving from SAP environment to non-SAP, or SAP environment to SAP only. So such kind of data handling things we will be using the interfaces. We'll be handling through the interfaces. Now coming to the conversions, if there is a business running on non-SAP environment and that business wants to move to SAP, so the data which is already available in the non-SAP environment, they want to try to move it to SAP. So with the help of conversions technique, we move the data from non-SAP to the SAP. And coming to the enhancements, we will do some kind of customizations, and this on the standard of SAP. What we will do, we will make some kind of customization. It means if there are some screens available or given by SAP, and our client wants some extra items to be available on the screen, like for example, they want some extra fields on the screen. Let us suppose there are some 10 fields given by standard SAP, and our client wants some additional 5 fields to be available on that screen. So such kind of activities, we do it with the help of enhancements. So enhancing is nothing but without touching the existing feature of SAP provided functionality or SAP provided standard, you try to implement the required contents or the requirements given by your client. That is what enhancement tells you about. Next, when we talk about forms, in forms, you learn about smart forms, Adobe forms, and SAP scripts. These are like designing the forms. So what does this mean? This is simply like the way how you get your bills, like your electricity bill, utility bill, or your phone bill. It has its own format with some logo of that service provider, your name, your unit address, your contact number, the date, and the bill generation date, and for how many minutes you have used your number, the minutes of usage, etc. All those things, there will be some kind of format. So overall, what I mean to say is, there is a kind of format that you receive. So each and every format will be different from each and every service provider. So such kind of designs, we can do it using smart forms. Adobe forms are the latest one. We will be using Adobe forms, and even SAP scripts also we will be using it. SAP scripts are the old fashioned. Smart forms are more friendlier, and Adobe forms are more friendly. Okay. So we use this concept for designing such kind of documents. Next, when we talk about workflow, this is like approvals. Approvals means, for example, you are creating a request. That request has to be approved by the second person. The second person, when approves, then only whatever the request you created will be going into the next level. So this is like a kind of approval processes. Generally, see, if you submit any application for house construction, so it starts with submitting the application. Next, it goes to the some first person. He will scrutinize all your documents, and he will again check if any documents are missing or not. Then again, if everything is fine, he approves it, and he will take the file to the next senior or next official. So likewise, workflow is a kind of a technology which is useful for approval process in SAP also. So we'll try to also focus on this once we complete the concepts related to the ABAP. Okay. So overall, the idea is RICEFW objects, we call it as. In any interview, they will say RICEFW. So it means like reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, and workflow or WebDyn Pro. The new technology came into market, which is called as Fiori. It's been here in the market from almost 8 to 9 years. This is also for designing the screens, UI5 screens, we call it as, like the apps. Whatever the apps you see on mobile can be also designed in SAP. The concept called as Fiori. It's also called as, the concept is called as Fiori. So we use this concept for designing the applications. So we have a person here who is experienced in Fiori designing. Her name is Monica. She's also here, and she will be like sharing her knowledge on Fiori in parallel, once we complete our ABAP sessions. Yeah, so that's about overall the concepts related to the ABAP. So hope we are good up to now. I will technically like take you to the SAP environment. How do we connect to the SAP server? And those details we will see further. So I hope like we are good so far. Any questions to anyone? Yeah, see guys, this is an open platform, open forum. You can put your questions over here. People who are new to SAP will have some kind of doubts, but don't hesitate to ask your doubts for clarification. and I'm more flexible here to answer to any of your questions. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to convey you here. But anyways, are we good so far?
Yes.
Okay. I see only 2 responses. I don't see the responses from others. So I said,
I have a
as I
small
said,
doubt.
yeah, definitely, Ashrit. Thanks for asking the doubts. Please proceed.
As you said, reports is like historical data, which is similar to bills, right? So is it similar to forms?
Exactly. See, there is a relation between these forms and again reports. What generally we do, okay. So basically, what happens? See, basically, what happens? We will design the form. Okay. We will design the form. Likewise, this is like a template. We call it is like a template. We will design everything. We will keep it ready. And now what happens from the database? Let us suppose this is database. This is your database, SAP database, or we call it as Oracle database. We will design the report. Okay. We will have the report. We will build the report. We will build the report like we fetch the data from the database tables. We will organize all those data and we will publish this data onto the forms. Like every section of the form will have its corresponding data. For example, this is like a header data. This is like item data. Let us suppose, imagine. Okay. So the header data will go to header section. The item data will go to item section. So overall, we will build the report. We will build the report, and that report data, whatever the data you get it here, we will publish that onto the form. So we will follow some techniques as per the process or the like the roadmap which is given to us by SAP, and we will follow that process to accomplish this task.
So can we say reports is like statistical data for a database, and the form is like summary for the report, like that? Is it like that?
Yeah, you can think in that way. See, the form is always like kind of the summary only. What you said is correct.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. See, you see. I will tell you one requirement for the company Hyundai. For the company Hyundai, they want to see 2024 to 2025. Okay, they want to see the data from 2024 to 2025 for, let us suppose, for Hyderabad sales region. For the Hyderabad in Telangana, they want to see for Hyderabad area, they want to see the data. Okay, so what they will do? They will generate a report. Once they generate the report, they will try to publish that in terms of this document, and they will publish in the document, and they will share it to the people who ever asked this kind of requirement. I mean, like to their senior managers or senior officials or the branch manager or whoever it is. They'll get the data, they'll publish it, they'll format it, and they will send it to that person. So it is more or less like everything is like data. We will move around, not only SAP, every technology moves around the data only. The core concept is always only the data. Clear?
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Monica, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, Rafi. OData also is part of this, or it is different thing?
OData also we will try to focus. This is like open data protocol. Open data, we will also try to look into this open data protocol concept also. Okay, so yeah, we will add that also into our sessions, because that is also very important for learning. I mean, to advance in the Fiori. So guys, there is one more concept called OData. So this OData, like Open Data Protocol, it will generate the data in terms of XML language, extended markup language. We call it as extended markup language. Okay, so this is especially useful for designing the Fiori apps. It means the backend is like OData, the front end is the Fiori. So what does that mean? It means okay, so this is the OData part, and this is the Fiori part. This is like a screens that what you can see on the app, and this is like data. This is like data. So the data comes from here, which is called as the OData. And for the OData, the back end is again the ABAP ECC environment. I'll tell you what is this ECC, etc. things. The data will be picked from ECC and pushed into OData. OData will convert that into the XML format. The XML formatted data is published on the Fiori. This is called as Fiori. Okay, so this is how the data transversions will take place. So we will try to learn up to OData part. I will teach up to here. I will teach, and the Fiori part will be taken by Monica after completing our sessions. Okay, is it clear, Monica? Any doubts?
Yeah.
Okay.
May I know the difference between ECC and ERP?
Sorry, come again.
Like both are ECC and ERP.
ECC and ERP. Okay. ECC is the component of SAP, Enterprise Central Component. We call it as Enterprise Central Component. This we call it as like ECC, some like 4.7 or 6.0. We call it as this system version. And your question is ERP. What is ERP? ERP can be SAP. ERP can be like Oracle, also an ERP product. JD Edwards, something called as JD Edwards, also an ERP product. Okay, so when you talk about ERP will tell you about a product. It will tell you only about the product. What is a product? SAP is a product. Oracle is a product. JD Edwards is a product. When we talk about ECC, for the product SAP, the system is ECC. Are you following?
Yeah.
For the product SAP, the system, the built-in system for SAP to access SAP product or SAP systems, we call it as simply an SAP system. ECC is like a simple SAP system, very simple. Are you clear?
Yeah. Nowadays, instead of ECC, most of the members using S/4HANA, right? So, what's the difference on the like only version or any code changes also?
See, when we talk about S4, when we talk about S4, when we talk about S4, this is with respect to HANA database. When we talk about ECC, it is with respect to your MySQL database or Oracle database. Okay, so there is, and in S4, it is mostly relevant to on-premise. Sorry, it is mostly relevant to, there are many things. On-premise is there and cloud is there. Cloud. When we talk about ECC, this is only on-premise. It is not cloud. Not cloud. Okay. So there are many differences. I'll come to that point when time comes, because many folks here are from basics, so they will not understand between these differences. But I can explain you separately. I mean, your question, I can take you through these things separately for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I just gave you a brief, I mean, just brief explanation about what is S4 and what is ECC. This is like a HANA database, and this is like on-premise. It supports on-premise. It supports cloud. ECC, it has MySQL, DB. It is on-premise. It means it is not on cloud platform, and it will not support cloud. Simple. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are many things further coming up after we learn ECC also. But the base for S4 or anything is ECC only. Without this ECC, you directly cannot go to the S4 environment. So our foundation course is learn ABAP, and then depending upon the interest of the folks, we will go to S4 also by the time. Clear?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, fine. So somebody raised their hand. Venu? Venu, did you raise your hand? You have any doubt, or it's by accidental? Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so next I'll show you. See, this is SAP GUI icon. This is SAP GUI icon. Generally, this SAP GUI icon is useful for interacting with the SAP servers. How do we get this? GUI icon? We need to. There is a software called SAP GUI. That I will provide you to all of you. I will provide you that software. So this is a software that we need to install on our system. You need to install it. So once you install it, you will see this icon. So the icon which I have shown you now. So this is the icon that comes over here on our system. This is the SAP logon. So for you to connect to SAP logon to SAP system, you need to have the internet connectivity. Okay. So we click on this. It opens this logon pad. So this is called as the SAP logon pad. So in this SAP logon pad, we will provide the details of the servers. We'll provide the details of the server. So who gives us the server? Who gives the details of the server? The details of the server will be given to us by the basis team. Okay. So remember, we call a separate team called SAP basis team. This basis team will work on the infrastructure. This basis team will work on the infrastructure. So what do you mean by infrastructure? It means they build the SAP system. They build the SAP systems, and they provide access. They provide access to SAP systems, like the username, password, etc. things. They will provide it, and moreover, they will maintain the SAP system. So overall, like they are the infrastructure team. They will build the SAP system. They provide access to the SAP systems, and they maintain the SAP system. What do you mean by maintain? If there are any upgrades of patches. Okay, so likewise, or any system is down. Let us suppose system was down due to some network failure. So our system, some repair, etc. things, some backup is not running. So there are some different kind of issues that will be coming under the in the real time environment. So those things, SAP basis team will be taking care of that. We will also work with this SAP basis team also. Okay. So as a whole, we work as a SAP ABAP developer, but for us, the requirements will be given by the SAP functional people. SAP functional people will give us the requirement. When we talk about SAP functional people, like there are some people who is working under MM, people will be working under SD, people will be working under FICO, People will be working in CRM, some will be working on SRM. So likewise, they'll be working in HR. There are different people working, are specialized or specialist in each and every module. And as an ABAP developer, we work with everyone over here. We work with everyone. So it means as an ABAP developer, we always try to interact with these kind of people. So let us suppose we are ABAP developers. Okay, we are ABAP developers and we work with SD guys. If there is any requirement given to us by SD guys, we work with them. If there is any requirement given to us by the FICO guy, we will work with them. If it is with the HR guy, if there is any requirement given to us, it can be a report or enhancement. I told you all the RICEFW, right? So when I say any requirement can be a report, interface, conversion, enhancement, forms, workflow, anything can be a requirement. So we work with those respective people. So for SAP, ABAP is the only language. For SAP, ABAP is the only language which interacts with all the modules which are available in SAP. Very simple. Okay. So now coming to the connectivity of SAP GUI. So once we install this, you will have an create here, create option available over here. Click on create and you need to provide the workspace name. I say this is like SAP training. I say SAP training, save OK. You will see the SAP training created over here. You see this SAP training workspace is created over here. Now in this workspace, I try to create a connection. Now click on this new, say connection. Now here, click on next. Provide the description of the server. Provide the description of the server. Who will provide these details? These details will be provided as by the SAP basis team. But in our case, we have a vendor who is available. We have a vendor who actually help us provide these systems. Provide the description. It can be any description. And provide the system ID. The system ID that we have now is ECC. Okay. And the next is instance number. Provide the instance number as 03. And you have the SAP router string. Just keep it blank. And go to application server. Application server 183.82.106.151. Okay. So guys, so listen carefully. These are the system parameters. We call it as the SAP GUI, graphical user interface. GUI stands for graphical user interface. Graphical user interface system parameters. And these parameters will change from system to system. This will not be same for all the systems that we are working with SAP. See, I'm working real time. My system parameters will be different. You are working for a different client. Your system parameters are different. But overall, the platform, the backend, the SAP GUI will be same. There will not be any kind of difference. That will be always same. There is no difference in the GUI except versions. SAP GUI version, some 7.1, 7.2, 7.3. Likewise, some changes will be there in the GUI version, but the parameters will be always changing from time to time. This is our learning hub. Okay, this is for our learning purpose. They have given this system to us. Okay, so once you provide these details, click on next. Nothing to do in the next screen. Now click on next and click on finish. You see this? SAP ECC ABAP. The parameter which I added now is available over here. Just double click on this. If you want to edit also, you can edit it. Select it and click on this pencil icon. You can edit it. If you are wrongly entered the application server details or instance number or system ID, you can also change it. Okay, now I double click on this. Now, this is how the screen looks like for you to enter into the SAP world. If you want to access the SAP system, this is how the screen looks like. You can see the client number. You can see the user field. You can see the password field. Okay. Client is 800. Always in learning of SAP, always we call this server as IDES. IDES means integrated development environment system. This is given to us by SAP. I mean, this is given to us for learning SAP. This is especially given to us only for learning SAP. In the real time also, everything looks similar, but this is for given for learning. You see client 800. Client 800 is always for learning only. Just remember, client 800 is always for learning SAP. SAP has given the concept of clients 800 and it is for learning purpose. We'll see what is this client actually. See, your system can be divided into different portions. For example, your hard disk. When we talk about an hard disk, you will divide that hard disk into drives, right? You'll divide into some C drive, D drive, E drive. Likewise, you will divide that hard disk into drives. Similarly, the SAP system also divided into some clients, like a client 800, some client 810. Likewise, they divided the system into like different clients. Each and every client has its own data. Each and every client has its own data. 800 client, if 800 client has the data, that data will not be available in 810 client. Okay, so this is about the concept of clients. So it's like simply imagine that it is like a portion of the system available in SAP. So likewise for client 800, today I have user details. The user is ABAP 62 is the username. Okay, and the password is welcome@90 is the password given to me. Welcome@90. So guys, try to be more careful over here while you provide the password. See, if you give wrong password, you will that immediately pop-ups name or password is incorrect. Again, you try to give wrong password. Again, you try to give wrong password. 3 times if you try to give, your user will lock. Your user gets locked. Okay, so be careful in this scenario. When you give the password for the first time, when you give incorrect password for the first time, try to close this window. Totally close it. Close it. Go back to your GUI icon. Double click on it again. And come from beginning. What I mean to say is just come from the beginning. So now you provide the password correctly. Welcome@90.
Client is 810.
I'm sorry. Client is 810 here. The client given to us is 810, but basically they give the client as 800. I don't know why these guys have given as 810, but anyways, say welcome@90. Thanks, Monica, for correcting. Okay, so this is how your SAP initial screen looks like. Okay, it says SAP Easy Access. This is how your SAP screen looks like. Do you see the screen in blue? How it looks like to you? Is it blue or it's like a dark blue, or how it looks like to you?
Dark blue.
It's dark blue, right? Yeah. So in the beginning of the days, it used to be like blue. There used to be some kind of waves, like a ripples in the water. It used to be like that, but it is totally changed. So yeah, so this is how your environment, SAP environment looks like, and you can play around from here. You see, this is the command box. We call it as command box. This is a starting point for running any application in this environment. What do you mean by that? See, for example, you want to run you want to develop a program. If you want to develop a program, to develop a program in SAP, we have something called as transaction codes. We have something called as transaction codes. So, for example, to run a program, the transaction code is SC38. SC38 is the transaction code, which is for ABAP editor. Just hit enter. When you hit enter, you see ABAP editor initial screen. You will see ABAP editor initial screen. So this is useful for building the ABAP program. So we'll come to that point, like what to build, how to build, and what are the naming conventions, etc. things. We will come to that point. So there are different transaction codes available. Like for example, SC11 is for data dictionary, SC21 for creating the package, SC37 for creating a function module, or we can create an RFC. SC24 is for class builder. I'll share you guys these details, the list of these transaction codes. I'll share it to you. And when time comes, we will navigate to each and every transaction and we will try to learn everything corresponding to these transaction codes, because that is our daily activity as an SAP developer. This is a daily activity that we will do in our day-to-day project activities. So SC18, SC19, this is for BADI definition, BADI implementation, S mode and C mode, and SC09, SC80, SM37, SM36, ST22, ST05, SWDD, SWBP, SBWP, SC51, and for forms, SAP script, it is SC71. For smart forms, the transaction code is smart forms. And for Adobe Forms, to build Adobe Forms, the transaction code is SFP. And if you want to create a material, it's like MM01. These are the transaction codes for the functional people who can access that. MM01, MM02, MM03. And for PO creation, ME21N, ME22N, ME23N. So likewise, we have, see, these are the different transaction codes that we see or that we use on day-to-day activities. But other than this, there are some hundreds and thousands of transaction codes available in SAP. Not only this, I told you these transaction codes, which are very much specific to our ABAP environment, and there are hundreds and thousands of transaction codes overall available in SAP. And we don't remember all those. We remember only those which are very much useful to us. Okay. So just for time being, I executed ABAP. I want to see the data dictionary. Let us suppose \n means we are in a session. You see this is a session. We call it as a session. We call it as a session. You see there is a star icon here. You can see a icon with a star symbol. We can see something like a star symbol. When you click on this, it will open one more window. You see this? You see in the SAP Easy Access initial screen. You see this? Okay, it means it opened one more window. If I say Alt Tab, you can see other ABAP editor screen already opened over here. So swap in between the windows. Okay, that is ABAP window, editor window is separate and SAP Easy Access is separate. Okay, so likewise, you can open 8 sessions, 8 windows. You can open 8 windows at a time. 8 windows are open. Other than that, you cannot open. Interview question like how many sessions you can open at a time. It's like it should say /n. N is for killing the session. Means this session will close. And which one you want to open? I want to open data dictionary. Let us suppose the transaction code for data dictionary is SC11. Just hit enter. You see in the same window, it replaced with SC11 new screen, which is nothing but ABAP data dictionary, ABAP dictionary. This application is especially useful for handling the database operations or database tables, etc. things. We will see that over here. Okay, are you good so far?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So yeah. So so I told you about link today after this call. Please put your email IDs on my WhatsApp. Okay, so share me the details. I will collectively send, I will gather all the email IDs and I will share the link. You can download it and you can install it. Okay, if you find any difficulties in installing the SAP GUI, you can let me know. We can connect and we can resolve that part. Okay, so any questions to anyone up to now? Are we good so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyone want to convey anything over here, like, or can I proceed further? Is it is not boring to you, and I can proceed further on this?
Yeah.
Others?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Okay, that's fine. So I was telling you about the transaction codes. So, and I'll share you these details also in the email, so that you'll take it like a notes. And also, guys, like whenever you are attending the sessions, try to maintain a separate notes and make points as per your understanding. Will be more helpful to you also. And at any point of time, if you have any doubts, you can let me know, and I'm more free to clarify your doubts at any point of time. I mean, not only now, anytime when we start the technical sessions also, we'll also try to look into that matters as well. Okay, so now I'll take you to creating an ABAP program, and we will try to understand how do we develop a program, and some data types things I will tell you right now. So I'll go to SC38 transaction. SC38 is the transaction code for ABAP program. You see here program, we provide the program name. Like let us suppose this is my first program in ABAP. So I'll say the naming convention you need to follow here is, the naming convention you need to follow is, the first letter of the program should be Z, or the first letter of the program should be Y. It can be Z or Y. So listen carefully, guys. The program name, first letter, it should be either Z or it should be Y. The reason is SAP has reserved from A to X. A to SAP reserved for its purpose. It means for building the reports or whatever the objects SAP builds on its side, it has reserved the names from A to X, starting from the A to X. So that is the reason why for all the custom reports, customizations in any concept, in any of these RICEFW concepts, we will always start with Z or Y. So most of the times I use Z. I'll say Z ABAP underscore. I'll say this is like batch 1 underscore. I'll say some hello world. Okay. This is a program name I'm giving, Z ABAP underscore batch 1 underscore hello world. So click on create. When you click on create, it will ask you for the title. Say my first ABAP program. Okay. Once you give my first ABAP program, you will find something called in attribute section, type, select executable program. Because you are going to execute the program, select the program name as executable program. Okay. Select it and click on save. I repeat, title, type of the program as executable program, and click on save. The next window, on the next screen, it will ask you for the package. About this package, we'll talk more about this package in later session when time comes. It is like a bag. It is simply like a bag. When you're going to office, or when you're going to college, or when you're going to some outside, you'll carry a bag for your purpose. You'll carry some items in that. Similarly, package is like a bag. It will have the items. The items can be your ABAP reports, items can be your ABAP data dictionary, database tables. Likewise, it can be anything. I told you about RICEFW, reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms. Any of that item can come and fall into this package. Okay, even for package also we will follow the same naming convention, like the first letter will be Z or it can be Y. So that we will see in later sessions. As of now, I will say SAP built-in package is called as a local object. SAP built-in package. SAP has built a package called a local object. Okay, select it and select it. Okay, so this is how your program ABAP editor looks like. This is your ABAP editor looks like. Okay, you see the very first time the program is inactive. So we should see always the program is active. You will find an icon here called as activate button, or the shortcut key is Control F3. You can go for Control F3 or activating it. Click on activate, your program gets activated. Just hit enter, your program gets activated. See that always your program is active. Okay, so now let's start the programming over here. See, the very first thing in the real-time environment, what we will do is we will write in the real-time environment, we will write the log. We call it as the modification log. So put star here. We say this as modification log. In modification log, what we will do, the developer name. Let us suppose developer name of the developer, and the date. Okay, date. Some transport number. If there is, I'll tell you what this transport number is. We will see that later. And the package, I told you already about the package, like $TMP, etc. I mean, the local object. We will share the details of this. And the purpose, or we can say business scenario. Why you are developing this report? For what purpose you are developing this report? You'll use the business scenario. Okay, so these are the few details that you actually put on the top of this. Okay, so likewise, we design in the real-time environment. Okay, so we will put like this. Okay, and somehow we will close this also. So likewise, we'll try to put this modification log more beautiful, so that any person who comes to see this program will try to understand what is actually the purpose of the program and what is the main objective of the program. So we will write a simple description of this program. That is how in the real-time environment we will design like this. So when you practice, also try to follow this. This log will change from requirement to requirement or some client to client. Some of them will be following in different ways. So, but overall, I'm just telling you, like, how do we follow this concept of log? Okay, now just save it. And guys, you see, if you save it, it will become again inactive. Every time it becomes inactive, you can activate it, but not really required now. Now, come to the next point. Next thing is, how do we declare variables? How do we declare a variable? Let us suppose, okay, so first of all, welcome to ABAP world. Let us suppose, welcome to ABAP world. See, we will use a keyword called write. Write is for putting the statements on the output screen, and followed by single quotes. And guys, remember, the ending of the statement should be it should be ending with a full stop or a dot. If you don't put dot, it will throw you an error. That we'll see that later. Now, I'm writing a simple statement. Click on activate button and just hit enter over here. Just execute. This is execute button. Click on execute. You see, welcome to ABAP world. My first ABAP program. This is the title of the program. This is the title of the program. Welcome to ABAP world is the content of your program. I mean, you have given these details here in the ABAP editor. You are saying it as write. It means this will write on the screen outside. Okay. Let us suppose I don't use dot over here. Then try to activate. It will throw you an error. Just try to activate. You see, activate despite errors or problems detected. ABAP editor is very smart. It will try to find the errors. You cannot, even if you activate it and if you run, it will throw the error. So say edit for editing the error. Okay, you can see here at the bottom, the last statement is not complete, period missing. You see, it is showing the line number also. You can see, guys, line number 12, type is what? Error. This is error. And the program is this. And you see the last statement is not complete, period is missing. It means you need to end that with the period symbol. That is what it is actually instructing us to do. You provide that and you just activate it. Okay, it got activated. Is it fine? Okay, so now, so this is a simple example. Now, guys, let us suppose you want to color it. Say color some 3. I don't know what is the color number. Activate it. Okay, activate it and execute. You see, welcome to ABAP world. So likewise, I copy this statement and I put some different colors. Let us suppose I'll say this as 1, this as 2, this as 3, this as 4. Let me try to activate this. Activate it. Just execute it. You see, there are different colors over here, correct? You're able to see this? In your programming, if there is a requirement, like if you want to beautify the output, you can do this. But just observe here, you see everything is in a single line, right? I want all these things to be like broken into different lines. Okay, I want them to be broken into different lines. So for that, what I will do, I will say colon slash. In every write statement, I will say colon and slash. I'll say colon slash. I'll say colon slash. So when I say this is slash, okay. So let me say this as a slash. Let us suppose. Let us see what happens. Okay, I am removing the colon. Colon is actually not required. Colon is required for other purpose, but I'll let you know what is that. Say write and slash, just execute. You see, all the lines comes one below the other. Okay, if at any point of time you want your output to be to be printed in, you want your output to be printed line after the line, you will be using this backslash. We call it as a backslash. We call it as a backslash. But you see, I have written like a right. I mean, how many times I have written this for? I have written this for 4 times. Can't we avoid writing this statement for 4 times? Yes, we can avoid it. So how do we avoid? We can avoid that by using the chain operator. We call it as chain operator. We call it as the chain operator. So what is the chain operator? So what I'm trying to do now, we can comment these lines. Okay, I'm copying these lines. I'm copying it. You know, we can comment these lines. Either you come to this point and put a star symbol, asterisk symbol, or what you can do, control less than symbol. Okay, it is the control. Just put your cursor on any line, say control less than symbol. Put cursor on any line, control less than symbol. Put cursor on any line and say control less than symbol. Either you can go line by line, or what you can do, select all the lines and say control less than symbol. Okay, so for commenting the lines, control plus less than symbol. For uncommenting lines, control plus greater than symbol. Okay, so let's see that also. Now all the lines are commented. I will open up the lines. Control greater than symbol. You see, all of them together has opened. Okay, let me comment it. And now what I will do, now I will try to avoid this write statement. So how do I do that? I can do that by introducing a chain op. We call it as chain operator. This is called as a chain operator. So what I will do now here, just I will copy this line and I put a comma over here and I paste it. Okay, it's very simple. Just separate first line separated by comma and put the content of the second line after comma. Very simple. Okay, And again here, I want to put the third line. Put comma, just hit enter, bring up to here, just give the third line. Again comma, just make it as fourth line. So just remove all these things. It's very simple. So look here, right? You see this, how it looks like? Or if you want, you can bring all the lines one below the other, like welcome 1, welcome 2, welcome 3, welcome 4. And you remember this chain operator we introduced and the comma comes into picture. The chain operator we introduced, the comma comes into picture. Say, but this chain, it is like concatenating the first string with the second string and third string and the fourth string. All of them together will be acted like a simple strings. Now we are done with this. Just activate it. Just hit enter. And now click on execute button. What happened? Why we are okay. The problem is we used chain operator here, but also we need to use this slash here. So it means we need to put slash over here. We will put slash over here. We'll put slash over here. Now try to activate and see the output. Okay, that in the just before I did not use slash. That is the reason why everything was coming in a single line. Now I used slash. So the moment it prints this, immediately slash is like a line feeder or new line. Immediately this gets printed on the second line. Once this is printed on the second line, immediately the next line is this one. It has a next line operator, or we call it the line feeder. New line we call it as. It prints on the next line. So you will see all the items printed on the one below the other in the output. See 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we use the write statement in ABAP program. Are we clear with this? Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So now, see, I want to use variables. Like for example, I want to add two numbers and I want to add them and I want to show them in the output. So what do we do? So for that, we have a keyword called data. Data is a keyword. Data is a keyword. Okay, I want a number. For example, I will say LV. LV stands for local variable. Okay, local variable. I will say number 1. Okay, I will say type. I stands for integer. Just try to understand. Data, variable name, type, data type. Very simple. What is this? Data, variable name. What is the syntax? Type, data type. That's it. This is the syntax. Data, variable name, type, data type. Variable name can be anything. It can be anything. It can start with a. There is no comparison between the name of the report and variable name. It can be anything. There is no restriction by SAP like you need to use only these names as variables. No. Other than keywords, use any variable name. What do you mean by that? It means I say data. Again, if I say the variable name as data, that is not going to be correct. I mean, I never tried. Best let us see how it looks like. It is accepting, not a problem. But just to avoid confusion, don't use the keywords as your variables. Simple. Other than that, use anything. Okay. Now, coming to this, I want to put some value to this LV number. So what I will do? Okay. So guys, we can also write comments over here. I say this as data declaration. I'll say value assignment. Generally, in real-time environment, we will write these comments for any purpose. Okay, now LV number 1 equal to, I will say 50. Remember, after variable, you need to give space. And equal to, you need to give space. You cannot give like this. This is not allowed. In ABAP, this is not allowed. Because ABAP programming language has its own syntax and semantics, we need to follow that. You can see that there is an error. Statement LV number 1 equal to 50 is not defined. Check your spelling. So the compiler of this ABAP is identifying this an error. You have to use space in between. Okay. Now try to activate. You will not find any kind of the error. Now these values here. Now I want to write this value. Let us suppose write LV underscore number 1 and full stop. Now activate it and I click on execute button. You see the value 50 is printed on the output. Okay, I want to print on the new line. I'll say write backslash. Activate it. Okay, there is an error because we need to use space here. Space is compulsory. If you are not using space, then there is an error. Remember, guys, your keywords should be always displayed in blue. You see, is a keyword. They're displayed in blue. If you bring this here, it will not display in blue. It means there is some error that you need to understand. Okay, so I'm telling you the basics of the programming. This is what actually we don't do in the real-time environment, like adding the numbers or displaying the numbers in the output. But for you to practice and for you to get into the environment of the ABAP, I have to teach you this. So that's the reason I'm doing this. You see, there is 50 printed over here. So just imagine the 50 means that is meaningless, right? I want to introduce something. Value of number is, then I say comma. I will try to introduce the operator, chain operator over here again. The same thing like what we did. Now just try to activate it. And you see value of number is 50. Right? So likewise, I can define any number of data, any number of variables. I will say number 2. Then I will say number 2. Then I will say this as like some, I will say it as 60. Value of number 1 is this. And I will try to print value of number 2 with number 2. Okay. Same thing I copied and pasted. And you see value of number 1 is 50. Value of number 2 is 60. Guys, you see there is some kind of confusion here between the welcome and value of number 1. I want to separate that. So for that, what I will do, I will say something, a keyword called as U line. Okay, just U line means underline. So what happens in we are using the U line, so it gets separated. You can see there is a line coming from left to right up to here. You can see now you can see there is a section, separate section, like very easy for you to understand. Okay, so this is for our purpose. If you want, you can use it in your practice whenever you want. Okay, now I want to have the result. Let us suppose I want one more variable for results. I say this also type I, and I will say LV result equal to LV number 1 plus LV number 2. Full stop. And finally, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print the result. Total result. Result is, I will say LV result. Okay. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts to anyone? Any confusion to anyone?
Super.
I think that N has the confusion. It is N is responding to our class. Okay, activate, execute. You see, value of number 1 is 50, value of number 2 is 60, and the result is 110. That's it. Are we good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so likewise, see, these are for data type I, for integer. Also, you can declare something for strings. Okay, you say data, LV underscore name, I say type string. You say LV underscore name equal to SAP ABAP, and I say write LV underscore name. Okay, so I say course LV underscore name. It's very easy, guys. So, I mean, you need to practice on these concepts. We'll see course SAP ABAP, it is printed in the output. So this is like a data types are like I is there, like type string is there. Also, we have something called as character, like character. Character means I say data, LV underscore city, let us suppose. Type, we say type C. Okay. So if you want to define the length for this, I can say it as like 20, like this. You can say like this. LV underscore city equal to, I'll say Hyderabad. Let us suppose. And I'll say, right, city is LV underscore city. Okay. You see here in character, we define the length here. We define the length. Okay. You see, city is Hyderabad. We define the length as 20. Let us suppose, let me try to go beyond that length. Let us suppose what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to give the characters more than 20. Let us see what happens in the output. You see, you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You see only the 20 characters, and after the 20 characters, anything is truncated, means that don't get printed in the output. But if you see, if I increase the length to let us suppose 30, then what happens? You will see the output to 30 characters over here. It means the way you give the length of the variable over here, the way the output looks like. It will not get truncated. Okay. So this is how it looks like, the string and character. Also, this is like we also have something called as a packet decimals, float, etc. Things are there. When time comes, we will try to make use of those things. Okay. Are we clear so far?
Yeah.
Any doubts to anyone in these concepts of data declarations and write statements, assigning the values, addition of the values? Guys, you can also try, like this is addition I told you, you can try multiplication, you can try subtraction, you can try division, you can try anything. You can write a program to calculate the interest, like I equal to PTR by 100, some formulas, etc. things are there. The mathematical calculation, mathematical formulas, etc. things, you can do it on your own for your better practice, to get addicted or to make yourself introduced into this ABAP editor environment. The more you practice, the more the perfect you become. Okay. SAP is SAP is, I mean, when you come to learn ABAP, you have to practice the more. The more is the system work should be there. The more you practice, the more knowledge you get. Okay. So most of the times, try to spend more time on the system. Try to practice more. Try to do as many of examples as possible. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. It can be anything. You can add even ABAP 007 also in this. You can add any numbers, digits, special characters, anything you can add into that. Okay, you can add any special symbols, for example, star, etc., etc. Everything you can add into that. When it is a string, it accepts everything. Even character also, it will accept everything. Okay. More or less, it is same. Character and string will look same thing, but the only difference is that length is different. String, it will not have any definite length, but this character will have definite length. Yeah, so when you talk about string, it can take up to some, you see, there is no definite length over here for this particular string. It can take any number of characters inside that string. Okay. Depends. 255 characters, will be there, but it can be even beyond that also. You can try it. Okay, just try to put more than 255 characters into that and see if it is working or not. That can be like a R&D for you. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so okay, so about strings and characters and integers. So as I told you, like you can try for more examples on your side. Okay. Right. So we are declaring the variables inside a program, and we are trying to give the value of the LV number I, and we are assigning the values over here, and we are calculating the result and printing the output. Don't we have any option to provide, for example, in the runtime? Runtime means I execute the program and I want to give the value here in the runtime in the screen. I don't want to give that value in the program. If we are giving the value in the program, it is a static. You cannot change this again until you go. You need to go inside the program. You need to change this value. You understood my points? Okay. My question is, I am always giving 50. Okay, I want to change it to 40. Let us suppose I want to change it to 40. Then I will change it to 40 and activate it. Again, activate the program. Again, execute it. I see the result. I feel happy. No, I want other value. Okay, I don't want 40. I want again back 50. Okay, give the 50. Activate it. And again, execute it. So this is what we will do. This is what we are doing. My question is, how can we avoid this situation? I want to give something in the screen, on the screen, on screen. I want to give here on screen. I want to provide the value here on screen, and I execute. I need to see the result. Number one is something I give on the screen. Number two, I give something on the screen, and it can be anything. I need to see the result.
I think we can use parameter filter.
Exactly. So the concept of parameters comes into picture here. Okay. We have a concept called parameters. So I say parameters P1 underscore number 1 type I. Okay, I say parameters P2. See the way how we declare the variable data variable name type I. Same way I'm declaring parameters, the parameter name type I. Parameters, parameter name type I. Okay, just let us see how it looks like. Okay, so just execute this. You see this? No, the one what I was explaining is like what is the scope over here? What is the scope of giving the values in the input? So this is the actual scope. So P number 1, P number 2, I can give the value here, guys. You can see here, you can give any value, you can give it here. Okay, you can give any value, and you cannot give characters here. You see, when I'm trying to give the characters, it is giving me some sound like A.R. Rahman keyboard music. Okay, so you need to give only numbers. You need to give only numbers, but no alphabets are allowed. So you can give any value over here. Very simple. And when you execute it, you will see the output. Output I did not write for the parameters. The report output you are seeing it. Okay. So what is the concept here? The concept is parameters. Parameters P1 number 1 type I. Parameters P2 number 2 type I. Then what I will do now? I will take the variable which I have declared here. Result variable is there, right? I will say LV result equal to, then I will say P num1 plus P num2. Okay, then I will try to put this result. I'll say parameter result. I'll say LV underscore result. Now, guys, and there is one more option called pretty printer. You see, in the more pretty printer, it means it will actually align your code beautifully. It will indentation. It will follow the indentation. Indentation means you see this. My parameter somewhere is here. This write statement is somewhere like going like this. Let us try to see if I put pretty printer. You see, everything will get aligned properly. You see this? Okay, it will make your code more beautiful on your screen. Got it? So That is the most important thing. Always you printer your code so that everything is aligned. Now activate your code and just execute it. You see, I will say it as 100 and I will say it as one more 100 and click on execute button. You see parameters results is 200. Parameters result is 200. Okay. So to avoid confusion, what I will do, I will try to comment all this section of the code. Okay. I'll try to comment all this section of the code. I'll take out only this result part. I'll put it here just for our understanding. Okay. Activate this code. Now there will not be any kind of confusion to you. You provide 100 and you provide 500. Just click on execute button. You will see parameter result is 600. Or you can say sum of two numbers is 600. Not parameters. Let us say sum of two numbers. Sum is, just say sum is 200. Sum is some result. Okay. Are we good so far? You see, the concepts are increasing time to time. You see, we started from one point and now we are at one point. We are advancing, guys. And we are slowly advancing in the concepts of ABAP. Okay, so you should be more concentrating, should be more focusing, because everything I teach here is very important in every concepts in the real-time environment. Everything comes in your real-time environment. Okay. Following? Not following?
Yeah, Paul.
Okay. I think nobody is sleeping, right?
No.
No.
I'm just activating you guys. Just I'm trying to activate you. So that's the reason why I'm asking you. Okay. So nobody is sleeping. That's the reason why I'm just telling you. Okay. That's fine. So now tell me, see, P1 number 1, P2 number 2. Do you think this is like a meaningful description over here? What is P1 number 1? What is P2 number 2? Is it meaningful? Do you think it is meaningful?
No.
Okay, so just imagine, right? Imagine you are on a okay, you are more interested into the shopping sites like Amazon, Flipkart. You are doing some shopping. Let us suppose you found some field like this. You want to fill some data for submitting. Let us suppose you have some kind of fields description like P1 number 1 equal to this, P2 number 2 equal to this. What do you understand? Do you understand anything? Do you know what you need to put in over here? Is it a name or your gender or your communication address or your contact number or what you want to put in there? You will not understand, right? Sorry, Astrid.
Price.
You can put price out, but how do you know that field is related to the price? Who told?
Like products price for product 1 and product 2. If you add both, we can get like total.
But how do you know
catalog.
this is for product? This field is meant for product. I will put my mobile number here. I will put my mobile number. It is not relevant, right?
Yeah.
So for that reason, we have something called as, you go to in menu, go to text elements, you have something called selection text. Go to selection text. In the selection text, if you see the same thing in the parameters, what we defined, the parameter 1 and the parameter 2, there is a text here. We can define the text here. I say here, provide value for number 1. Similarly, I say provide value for number 2. Activate it. Come back. Activate your program. Execute it. You see? Do you think this is not meaningful now? Yes or no? It is meaningful, right? Provide value for number 1, provide value for number 2. This is meaningful now. So remember, like any time when you're doing with parameters, when you're working with parameters, go to text elements, selection text. Try to put your text over here. Okay. So just this is all for your practice, guys. This is all for your practice that you need to do. Okay, now See, I used parameters. If I want to use, if I want to make use of parameters some 10 times, do I need to use 10 times? Yeah. That's it. That's the catch. We can avoid using parameters. What we can do, it's very simple. I will design like this. Rather, I'll comment everything, guys. I don't want any of these. I will say parameters. Again, you put chain operator. So when you put chain operator, what is the funda here? I want other parameter over here. What do you do? I want another parameter. I want to introduce another parameter here. What do you do? What you are going to do here?
We'll give comma.
We can just put comma and
Very good,
type
very
it.
good. So very good, guys. Very good. So you're not sleeping. I'm very much happy. Okay. I thought you were sleeping, but you are not. You are listening to the class. Okay. So I say this as P2. Let us suppose P2 number 1. And if I want one more, I'll say P3 number 1. So likewise, I can stop it here. So you can use chain operator combination with comma. Okay. So this will be like P1 number 1. This is a P2 number 1. And I will say plus, I will say P3 number 1. Okay. You're good so far, right? The only one thing is we need to change the selection text. Now let us try to execute and see. For the first, we are seeing the description. For the second and third, we are not seeing the description. Then let's try to give the description. So go to text elements. Where are we going? Can you tell me where we need to navigate?
Go to
Text elements.
Text elements.
Selection text.
Selection text. See, your answer. If your answer is very fast, you'll be getting a chocolate, guys. Remember, okay? You'll have a chocolate. You'll have a chocolate for sure. So P3 number 1 also we have. P3 number 1 is there. P number 1. Okay, we are confusing here. Number 1. Okay, this is the number 1, right? Okay, let us see. See, the old which are not available. I mean, previously we introduced some parameters and now we removed them, we changed them. When we try to activate, see, delete extraneous selection text from text pool. They will be getting deleted. Just let us see. They will be getting deleted. You see this? The previous one has got deleted and you see this is the third one. You understood what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say, you see this P1, P2, P3 is there, correct? Now what I will do, I go back. I will try to remove this P3 from here. I will try to remove this. Let us imagine. I'll try to remove that. And I will try to remove from here also. Just imagine that I removed that. Now I'm trying to activate. When I'm trying to activate, it gets activated. It's well and good. Now go to text elements, selection text. In the selection text, you see this. I'll try to activate. Let us suppose I try to activate. Okay, everything is fine. I will try to make some change here. Number 2, I will say. I will say number 1. Now I'll try to activate. Just observe here. I'll try to activate. When I'm trying to activate, you see, it says delete extraneous selection text from text pool. What do you understood? What did you understand here? What? And you followed, not followed? You want me to explain again? Sorry? What do you mean by deleting the previous one?
I think it will delete the variable which we have deleted from the ABAP program.
What is that we deleted from the ABAP program?
P3. P3 now.
Exactly. We deleted P3 from the ABAP program. We activated the ABAP program. We came here. We made some change here. You see, I changed this to number 1. It was like number 1, but I made some change here. I gave some space. Just for our understanding, I gave some space. Because there is a change here, I tried to activate this. When I'm trying to activate this, it is throwing this message. Delete extraneous selection text from text pool. It means in the screen, there is no variable called P3 now. It is not there. We deleted it already. So this becomes like an extra text over here. So that is the reason when it is not there in the screen, do you want to delete this? Why you want to keep it here? Unnecessary confusions. Are we clear? Okay,
Yeah.
so that I will say yes, it gets deleted. Simple. Just hit enter. That gets deleted and go back. You see, now you see the result. That's it. Are we good?
Yeah.
Let us suppose I want to introduce few more parameters. Let us suppose I will say this as num3 and this as num4. Let us suppose. Okay, activate it. Execute it. You see, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Let us suppose. Okay. So now I want to separate this. Number 1, number 2 belongs to one section. Number 3, number 4, that should belong to the other section. I want a comparison here. I want to differentiate both these, parameters. Previously, I have shown you already for when you are printing, when you want to differentiate, what we used between the output statements, what we used?
Uline.
We used uline. Similarly, if you want to differentiate here, what can we use? We have something called as selection screen, begin of block. You need to give the block name B1. Selection screen begin of block B1. I will say selection screen end of block B1. Let us see, guys, what happens. We'll see. I'll show you the output and then we will talk more on that. Just execute it. Do you find any difference? Okay, no difference. I will say with frame. I'll come to that point. Look here. You see, number 1, number 2 are now put into one frame. You are able to see that frame here now. You see that the border. You see the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the border, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So it means we divided that output into block. You can see here this border. You can see the border here. You can see the border. You see this? This is the border. And for this, there is no border. So what I will do, I'll try to also put border to this parameters. These parameters also I'll try to put. Okay. And here, this is selection screen begin of block. This is selection screen end of block. You see, I need to change the name to B2. It means if I put already B1 is declared, right? It will throw you error. So I am declaring it as a separate frame. Now you see, guys, you see 2 frames now. You see, this is a frame, this is a frame. Are you following? Okay. So 2 frames now. So for you to just differentiate. Okay. So before that, what I will do, I'll try to give the text to these fields. I'll say this as number 3. And for this, I'll say it as number 4, just for our understanding. Okay. Activated it, go back. And I just try to execute. You see number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Okay, that's fine. Just imagine if we give some title to this. Let us imagine. Let's give some title to this block, and let's give title to this block. Let's differentiate between these 2 blocks. So for that, what I'm trying to give here in the selection screen begin of block B1 with the frame, I will say text. Say text -001. I'll tell you what is this. We call it as a text symbol. Similarly, text 002. It can be anything, guys. You can give any 001, 002. You can give anything, but you need to give text. TXT text you need to give. That is the syntax. Okay. Now try to activate this. What happened? Give me a moment.
It should be title text.
Oh, sorry. Okay. With the frame, yeah, we should say title. Yeah. See, there is a good thing with ABAP environment, you see if there is something is going wrong, it will be in red color, and you see you will also able to see the errors very easily. You see title or no intervals expected after frame. See after frame means you see this is frame, this is frame, this is frame. After frame, what is expected? Title or no intervals. Title is expected here. Okay, we'll talk about no intervals later. I will say title. Just execute it, activate it, and execute it. Just execute it. You see, nothing, no titles are there here, right? So what you can do, okay, this should be title 02 because I'm giving title 01 already there. This is 02. Now what you can do here, just double click on this. Just double click on that. It will ask you program text 001 does not exist. Say yes. It will come to the same screen. You see 001. So I say block B1. Just activate it. Go back. You see, it's already defined. For this, there is no, we did not define the block name, right? Now try to execute and see how it looks like. You see block B1 is here. This is completely for block B1. For block B2, we did not give any value, right? So that is why it is empty. So we can also give the value for the block also. So now go back. Directly, you can double click on this, or what you can do, the same thing. Go to text elements. Now you go to text symbols. We call these as a text symbols. You see TXT text. This is a text symbol. So go to text symbol. In the text symbol, you give that value as 002. You yourself can give the value as 002. Say block B2 and activate it. Now go back and execute. You see block B1, block B2. Okay. Now it looks more beautiful, right? There is a separation here. You can separate the two blocks with the names like block B1, block B2 likewise. So it cannot be block B1 in the real time. You will give some meaningful description with respect to the parameters that you are going to add over here on the screen. Okay. Are we good so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have gone through the data declarations. We have gone through the type I declaration, string declaration, character declaration. I explained to you about how we define parameters and the chain operator with respect to the parameters, and how do we change the text of the parameters. Guys, remember parameters will come under selection text. You see this? Parameters will come under selection text because this is a screen element. This you are seeing here as a screen element. We call it as we call this as a selection screen. In ABAP, we call it as a selection screen. Okay, we call it as a screen element. That is the reason why if you go to text elements, you will see it as a selection text. But this one, this is text symbol. Symbol is different, selection text is different, guys. Just you try to identify that. So go to text elements is the main section. In that section only you will find these things. In that section only you will find these things. Okay, you will find these things. So this is like a selection texts. This is the selection text. These are all selection text. Just beside that, you will find the tab called text symbol. Click on it. You can swap between that and this. Whatever you want, you can do it. You can play around. Simple. Are we good? Okay, so yeah, let's end up the session over here. I don't want to confuse more in the beginning of the ABAP sessions. I'll catch you up surely for the other sessions. And I want you to have a good practice on these things. And going forward, there are a lot. See, these are all the basic things we will be learning and which are mandatory things which you will be actually looking into. Okay. So most of the times, guys, we will design these screens like this, whatever. See, these are the simple things what I have shown you now, but we will have complex things like we will have radio buttons, we have parameters, we have checkboxes. There will be many things. in real-time environment for our purpose, design purpose. Okay, so these are the basic building blocks for you to learn anything to advance in the ABAP. As I told you, like I will be taking all these sessions from the scratch. This is like a basic learning to you all guys. So you'll be learning these things. And I want the only one thing I want you to do is you have to practice it. So if you don't practice, you will be in confusion when I go to the other topics. Okay, because in other topics, when I keep advancing, I will try to use these things. Whatever I have learned in the previous classes, I will be using them. You should be able to understand like what I am using in those concepts. Okay, so that is the main idea behind stressing more on the basic things, which is actually important for us to advance more in ABAP for sure. Are we good?
So,
Any questions?
yes.
Any questions from anyone? Now it's a time for you. This is time for last 15 minutes of this. So what I will give? Something went wrong. Okay, this is block 3. It should be B3. Yeah. So what I will do? Just execute it. Okay, this is, let us suppose this is our new one. This is a new block. Let us suppose. What you are trying to do? You are trying to display a table. Let us imagine. Imagine you are trying to display a table. I'll say this as 003 block B3. Okay, as you asked about the assignment, let me complete this one. Okay. So I am commenting all this section, guys. I don't want all these things. Let me comment all this. I'm commenting all this. And also you can refer to the same program in the same environment. Okay, you can have a look at this. You will be anyway accessing this program, right? You can also have a look at it. So what I will do here, I'm going to these text elements. Here I will say provide table. Which table you want to print? Let us suppose. Just imagine which table you are trying to print. You want to print some table, right? I want to print a 5 table. Fifth table. Let us suppose you want to print a 5th table. Okay. So now what you do for that output, you try to do like this. Data LV underscore number type I, guys, and this is also logic. You need to build the logic. See, with this you will be building the logic. Okay, with this whatever what you are trying to do, you are trying to build the logic. I will say LV underscore result type I. Now what I will do first thing, LV underscore result equal to LV underscore results. Okay, what are you trying to do? You are trying to I'm trying to show you this. Okay, I'm trying to increment it and trying to print it. Just I will show you these two things. Then the rest you can take care. Okay, so what I did in the selection screen block, I have taken a parameter. In this parameter, I will try to put the table. I will try to put the table number. What do you mean by table number? What do you mean by table number? It is a 1 table, 2 table, 3 table, 4 table. Okay, that is the table number means. Which table you want? I want the table number. Okay, and now what I'm trying to do, the table number into what is the first field value? 1 means 5 ones are 5. You will have the output. Next 5 into next one is what? 2, right? So what I did, LV number is 1. I incremented by 1. This becomes 2. 5 into 2 is the result in the output. Following? Let me execute
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I will give 5 table, execute this. 5 1 is 5, 5 2 is 10. So what I'm trying to do here, let me put backslash so that it will be printing in the in the next line. Okay, so just execute this. I put the table number as 10, then execute. You see 10 20. It means 10 1 is 10, 10 2 is 20, and you want, if you want that representation, like 10 1 is 10, you say P number 1. You say P number 1 into, see, all these things you need to take care, guys. P number 1, comma, sorry, comma, again, comma, 5 1s. It means which one is the value? Num1. Num1 again equal to value. Just try to see this. Now, this is 5 into 1 equal to 5, the result. Okay, so the same thing you need to follow here also. Same thing you follow here also. Nothing to change here. Just the same thing you copy and paste over here. Simple. Got it? Execute it. I'll say the table as now 5. Execute it. 5 into 1 equal to 5. 5 into what happened to this? Okay. What we will do here, we added here, right? That is the reason why it is showing it as 5 only. So what I will do here, I will increment the value by itself. Simple. LV num equal to LV num plus 1. I'll increment the value, guys. Very simple. I'll remove this plus 1. Okay. I'll explain you again. Don't worry. Let me get that format first. Once you get the format, then I'll explain you. You see, I'll say now 3. Let us suppose 3 into 1 equal to 3, 3 into 2 equal to 6. So there is some space here. Just ignore it. It is because this is like a integer type, right? So it will take the spaces in the beginning. So no, don't worry about those things. You see 3 1 is 3, 3 2 is 6. Are you following?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see the logic. How I build the logic is very important, guys. I have taken one value, LV num, as 1. I have taken a result as I. What I'm trying to do, LV result equal to, what is the number? Let us suppose 3. 3 into 1. It means this value. This value. 3 into 1. I printed that result. What should I do next? It should become 3 into 2, right? So 3 into 2 means this LV num should become 2. So for me to become LV num as a 2, I said LV num equal to LV num plus 1. What is there in LV num? 1 is there. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. It means final LV num will be what? 2. Okay. I'll explain you this very clearly. We have something called as debugging. Now the time has come to explain you the concept of debugging. You need to activate your program. Your program should be always active. And you can see here there is a red symbol, right? Set or delete session breakpoint. Put your cursor over here. Set or delete breakpoint. Okay, you can see this red symbol here on the extreme left side. This. Okay, just see. Now your program is in inactive version. I try to put the breakpoint. It will say you can only set breakpoints in the active unchanged source. You cannot put breakpoints in inactive mode. Just try to remember this. Try to activate this. And now it is active. Either you can directly bring your mouse pointer here, click on this, or you can put your cursor over here and click on this. You can do either way. Now what I will do, click on execute button. See, directly processing, execute it. Now I will put the value as a 10, 10th table. Click on execute. Remember, this is very important. See, you see, it is debugger is started. You see, debugger has started. This is very important in our real-time environment. We can see the values of the values flowing in the program. You see, LV num. You can see what is the value of the LV num. The value is 1 we have given. Correct? Yes. What is the value of P1 underscore num5? What is the value we have input on the screen? 10 we have input as a table, right? Are we clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
See the result. Now result is empty. Result is empty. So you see there is a symbol here. F5, F6, F7, F8. I will talk more on this later, but let us go the single step called F5. F5 is for single line execution, line by line execution. So I click on F5, guys. If you see F5, you see the value here. The value changed to what? 10. You see, it means it executed this result. It means P1 number 5 is 10. LV number is 1. 10 into 1 is 10. 10 is now the result. That is the value stored here in the field, LV result field. The same thing we are printing in the output, correct? Whatever is printing in the output, we cannot see that. We cannot see that. Okay. Now delete all the variables. I will try to put again here. You see this result P number 1. P number 1 will be always same 10. And you see the result. Result is the first one. 10 into 1 is 10, right? Okay, now 10. You see the number. What is the number? Number value is 1. Now you see after executing this line, it becomes 2. Let's say press F5 here. Press F5. See the value changed to 2. It means what is the next? 10 ones are 10 completed. 10 twos are, we are at 10 into 2 position. So now you see Pnum is 10, LVNum is 2, 10 into 2 is what? 20. 20 gets printed. Simple. The 20 gets printed in the output. 10 2 gets printed in the output. Execute. You see 10 ones are 10, 10 twos are 20. Followed? Not followed? Any confusion? Any doubts?
No.
No doubts.
Okay, now what will be the next step here? What will be the next step? This is 10 into 1. This is 10 into 2. So guys, this is how we have to build our logical ability. Okay. This is how we build our logical ability. ABAP is pure programming language. Program, it is a program. That's it. Simple. Blindly, it is a program. For program, we need to build logics. Logics are very important. And the logics are not going to be very complex. I'm telling you, right? Nothing complex. Nothing complex. Okay. What will be the next step over here?
Like LV num plus 2.
LV num plus
2.
LV num plus 2. LV num plus. This is what you're saying?
Yeah.
LV num plus 1 again.
Yeah, you post
Because
your
we
answers.
arrange table.
Yeah, Tushara has raised her hand. Yeah, you can.
Sir, actually for writing program for a table, in Python RC we use for loop. Like that, can we use anything here?
We can use that. We'll come to that point later. I want you to build the logic in this way. The loop concepts, we will come in the next sessions.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, even I had the same doubt because it will
We
be
have
easier.
that. We have that. I don't want to confuse you in the beginning. So that is the reason why we have to go this way first. So what are your answers? Your answers are LV num plus 2. How many of you say LV num plus 2? Let's see who raises your hand. How many of you will raise your hands?
I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
That storing LV num plus 1 means we are telling us 2, right? So we are storing that 2 into LV num.
Okay.
So the next line will be 2 or else will repeat the same as 1.
That is the question I'm asking you. The question that question is to you guys. You have to answer it.
Okay. So if it is 2 means we can repeat the same step. Otherwise we can do in this way.
That's it. That's it. That's the catch. You see, it's very clear. LV num 1, it is 1. LV num 2, here it is becoming 2. It means already in LV num 2 is there. What we need? The same step you repeat, nothing to change. This will become 3 here. Simple. No need to change anything over here. Nothing to change. Just copy and paste for 10 times. How many times you want, you paste it for 10, that many number of times. Simple. You see? Okay. This is 3, right? What I will do? I will do it for 4. Let us suppose let me complete up to 10. Okay, so that you will understand very clearly. This is, I will do it for 5. Okay. Next, I will do it for 6. Next, I will do it for 7. I will do it for 8. And I will do it for 9. And I will do it for 10. Simple. Okay. Let me activate this. Execute it. I'll give the name as number as 10. Execute it. It is going to debugging because we already have a breakpoint over there. If you want me to show you the debugging, I can show you. Let me start with pnum1. Start with pnum. Let me go with the result. Okay. Just try to observe these values. 10 into 1. This will become 10. I'll put F5. See, 10 ones are 10. It gets printed. Okay. 10 twos are 20. 20 gets printed. You see the num value also? It increases by 1. You see? 3. 3 into 10. 30. Next 4. 4 into 10. 40. Next 5 into 10. Next 6 into 10. Next 7 into 10. Next 8 into 10. Are you following? Next 9 into 10. Okay. So execute it. You see the output. 10 ones are 10 twos are up to 10 tens are. We got it. Right? Are you clear?
Got it.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So likewise, you do as many examples as possible for you. The real assignments, I will give the real assignments when the real topics will start. These are all for the practice, right? So for the practice, just like I said, you now, I tell you example of multiplication table. You do something for some place, 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, 10 plus 3. Likewise, you do. You do for some division, 10 divided by 1, 10 divided by 2. Likewise, you do for division. Okay. So likewise, what you can do, so you can build the selection screen like this. You give the table name. Okay. Sorry, sir. Not table name. You give the table number in the next field. Okay. In the next field, what you give? In the next field, you give the operator. You give the operator. Operator is what? Let us suppose it is multiplication or division or plus or minus, something you give it. Okay. So that what happens, depending upon that operator, your results should change. If it is multiplication, you need to give 10 into 1, 10 into 2, like that you need to get. If it is a division, you should 10 divided by 1, 10 divided by 2, it should give the result like that. If it is a plus symbol, 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, 10 plus 3. If it is a minus symbol, 10 minus 1, 10 minus 2, 10 minus 3. So you will handle all these situations in that assignment. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Not only this, you can take your subject marks. For example, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5, subject 6. Add all those. Find the total. Find the average. Depending upon, okay, that if conditions I will tell you later. Find the total, find the average. That's it. Print them in the output. Print all the values of subjects. Print all the values of total and average in the output. Simple. This is also kind of assignment to you.
Okay.
Okay, you can take a note of this. If you can take a note of this, or if you have mobiles, just take a screenshot of this. But for today, you can take a screenshot of this. For next time, you can maintain the notes. So hopefully, again, we'll meet tomorrow. We'll have a session tomorrow also. Yeah. So that if I complete some concepts in tomorrow, then you can have your time these weekdays. You can practice everything. You can practice on weekdays, and we can connect back on the next week for sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so these things you can take it as an assignment. You can practice on your side.